Hi everyone, so we're going to go into some more detail here about our rays and skates and sharks. So they all fall under the class that we talked about last time. So for our rays and skates specifically, defining characteristics of these are going to be wing-like fins and a whip-like tail. And sometimes these animals are also going to be venomous. So you can see these here. We have those nice wing-shaped fins here and that long skinny tail that does resemble a whip. So a sawfish would also fall into the category of our rays and skates here. So the difference here a little bit is it has this blade that is going to go through schools of fish. That's going to help disable the prey so they are able to eat them. But if you take a look at the physical characteristics that our sawfish has here, we can see that it has double set of fins here that do have that wing-like shape. So that's why they're going to be able to fall into this category, along with that bottom-facing mouth, which was another characteristic of this class. So those are some of the characteristics here that make them part of our rays and skates category here. And then also we can see that manta and devil rays, most of the rays and skates that we see are bottom dwellers, but these manta and devil rays are not, so they swim instead. So they kind of flap their wings like a bird. So again, they have those wing-like shaped fins and then that very skinny whip-like tail here. But very interestingly, they actually do flap their fins like a bird would, which is why we consider these fins wing-shaped here, which is very interesting. So again, falling into our rays and skates category here. And next we are going to talk about some sharks. So sharks we usually consider our living fossils. And the reason that we consider that is because they have not needed to evolve for over 100 million years. So no, we don't have a shark in the ocean that is 100 million years old, but all of the sharks that we see here have all the same characteristics of sharks that lived 100 million years ago. And the largest one that we've heard of is called the Megalodon, and that is the oldest predatory fish, and it's actually twice the size of a great white shark. So if we take a look here, we have some of our more modern sharks at the bottom, little human here to compare. But if we look, we have 20 meters here. So 20 meters, we know that there's 3 feet in 1 meter. So that is 60 feet long. This is our Megalodon here. So a very, very large shark here, which is very interesting. So some defining characteristics of sharks. They have disposable teeth. So they can grow and replace teeth. So unlike us, we only have 2 sets of teeth, and if we lose our second set, they don't come back. That is not true for sharks. They can grow teeth whenever. They have a really acute sense of smell. So about 1 in 10 billion parts of water, so that means that in every 10 billion parts of water, they can kind of smell their surroundings, which is pretty interesting here of how different they depend more on smell than they do for sight here. And that's because their nostrils are actually connected directly to their brain, so they have that really, really strong sense of smell. And then some species here, many can extend their jaw out from their body to help them, again, eat their prey and things like that. So again, this sense of smell is going to be really important for sharks. Just because that is their primary way of hunting, and they do have another feature that we'll talk about in a minute that also kind of aids in this sense of smell here, and that's called Ampullae Lorenzi. So again, these are jelly-filled canals that can detect electrical fields, magnetic fields, temperature, salinity, and water pressure. So if we take a look here, we can see our nares or our nostrils on our sharks, both sides of their face, and right underneath that we have this soft spot or that jelly-filled cavity, and we can see those are called the Ampullae Lorenzi. And what's really interesting about this is that it kind of helps the sense of smell per se in the sharks because it's sensing all of these other things. So again, very much dependent on these special senses that they have here rather than sight or anything else. So they can sense electrical currents made by other living organisms. So if we know a little bit about anatomy, all organisms have their own electrical systems that is run by either their nervous system or their heart. So that's why this detection of electrical currents is really important. Those electrical currents are able to move through fluids, so we can allow these sharks are able to feel those currents made by those animals within a certain area of them. So again, really, really interesting tool for hunting here. If you have any questions about these, please let me know. We're going to go into some examples of sharks next time.